Now, I'm going to share with you guys something that you have probably never heard anywhere else. So the chosen ones, the black sheep, I don't know, scapegoats. If you know that for some reason you're a chosen one, of course, this is the video for you. Now, do you know the reason as to why oftentimes you engage with toxic people and they don't want you to speak? Let's start with the black sheep of the family. Let's start with the black sheep. The black sheep of the family, when you're in your families, have you noticed that oftentimes, anytime you had something to say, you were silenced and ordered to sit and shut up? This video is going to blow your mind, ladies and gentlemen. I've told you this. Have you asked yourself a question as to why for the most of you guys who are the black sheep, not only the black sheep, we are going to come to the other chosen ones who have probably not been black sheep in the families. Did you notice that every time you had something to say, you have been ordered to stay quiet, and you had been refused to talk? I'm going to tell you guys what is happening. Anytime you rose up and you had a point, you wanted to say something, even sometimes there was a lot of family meetings they did not want you to attend. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be blown away today. I can guarantee you this. Let's go to the other chosen ones, okay? Did you notice that when you're with toxic people, and you guys were having some sort of a conversation, there was a conversation going on, maybe you were telling them something, you were saying something. Did you notice that actually most of those times, those people are not even listening to you? They are completely absent-minded. Their mind is very far away. They are not listening to you. Even most of the time, they don't even want you to talk. But when they made a point, when they wanted to say something, there was a discussion going on and they wanted to say something. They wanted to make sure that you register that as the truth. So they were actually struggling and fighting very, very hard to be right. If you could prove them wrong, ladies and gentlemen, when you've been with toxic people and you prove them wrong, I've got magpies in the back. Those are magpies over there. If you proved them wrong, ladies and gentlemen, that thing would actually crush their ego. If not even sometimes cause them a narcissistic injury, a lot of these toxic narcissists and whatever. Usually, I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, toxic people, they don't want you to speak. I did a video recently and I told you guys, when you're speaking to narcissists, most of the times, it is like you're saying something that is piercing through their soul, piercing through their heart. You are saying something that is piercing through their spirit. Now, we already know they don't have a soul, but I'll just say it the way it should come out, and you guys already understand what I'm talking about. You are saying something that is crashing through their ego. In most cases, that's why they give you the silent treatment, because you have actually injured them. You have caused them an injury, and you have crushed their ego. And most of the time, they're going to give you a very, very long silent treatment, because they want to punish you for saying whatever it is you have said to them. And most of the time, it's the truth. Now, let me explain to you something about chosen people and toxic people. Chosen people, they are vibrating on the frequency of love. They are all about truth. They're all about love. They're all about authenticity, sympathy, and they're usually empathetic. Everything that is coming out of them is coming from the heart. Now, you're dealing with people who are doing things based on their ego. And the two of those things are crashing. So this is the reason as to why you have spent a very long period of time actually crashing with your narcissistic parents, with your narcissistic brothers and sisters, with your narcissistic husbands and wives. Is the reason as to why the entire house has been on fire ever since you met those individuals and you've been with them, and they know this. Now let me go to the spiritual part of this video. When we're talking about truth, authenticity, empathy, love, toxic people do not know how to understand authenticity. They do not know how to register authenticity, and they do not understand that frequency of love. It's a very, very high frequency, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a person who is vibrating on that frequency of love, I'm talking about the chosen ones, you guys, the empaths. And it doesn't even matter if you're awakened or not, because even if you're not awakened, you are still on that love frequency. You're making sure that whatever it is you're doing and putting out there is out of your heart. So it's out of love. Normally what is going to happen usually, ladies and gentlemen, when you open your mouth to speak, those toxic individuals, those narcissists, let me tell you something, those demons within them, they are hearing a completely different frequency, and that frequency is disturbing them on a spiritual level. Let me repeat this one more time. Chosen ones, when you open your mouth to speak, everything which is coming out of your mouth, it is piercing through those individuals and it is disturbing their frequency. So they are not actually hearing the 3D frequency. On a very spiritual level, they are hearing a very high vibrational frequency, and they cannot stand that frequency. I've told you guys, my videos, there is people who understand them, there is people who are not on that frequency, they will scroll through. But the ones who know, the ones who resonate, they will stop and watch these videos because they know what we're talking about. They know what time it is. Chosen ones, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Your entire life, the reason as to why the people around you have usually dimmed your light, and they never wanted you to speak, they never wanted you to do anything, they never wanted you to say anything. Even most of the times you have been missing a lot of family meetings. Some of your friends went out, they didn't call you, you were the ones who they didn't call. They wanted to go by themselves and they didn't invite you. Any moment you're speaking, chosen ones, and you are engaging with certain types of individuals, there is individuals who have got demonic spirits within them, and these demonic spirits, they do not identify with the love frequency. So they know that whenever they come to you, I shared a video many years ago, and I told you guys when I was young, I remember so many years ago, I noticed that whenever I came around, people were talking, you know, they were having these conversations and they were engaging. Of course, everything was okay. They were shouting, they were celebrating even sometimes. The moment you come around, ladies and gentlemen, as a chosen one, I do not say that I knew that I was a chosen one in that time, but I noticed these events actually happening. The moment you came around in that vicinity, everybody went quiet. They stopped talking. All of a sudden, the conversation is finished. The moment you opened the door and you came in, the conversation was finished. And sometimes you would catch them even sometimes gossiping about you. They would run away very far from you and go and hide and start talking about you. Any moment, ladies and gentlemen, a chosen one, everywhere you show up, any place you go and you show up, your presence is seen and known. There is individuals that are going to be disturbed by whatever it is you are going to do or whatever it is you are going to say. Because I've told you guys, chosen ones, you are very, very high vibrational beings, chosen ones. I'm telling you the truth. So when you're talking in the spiritual realm or in the spiritual aspect, because I've told you guys the worlds that we live, they are made up of different dimensions. Now we have got entities from different dimensions that are operating. We're talking about these demons which are operating with these toxic individuals. We're talking about these narcissists and whatever. So they're operating within them. They have corrupted their souls and they're operating within them. So they're actually under possession, those individuals. Now, you as a chosen one, you're a very high vibrational being. And the two frequencies between you and these individuals, they do not match. Is why you're seeing a lot of toxicity in those relationships. There is nothing you're going to do is going to work out. Because the two of you, your two people are vibrating on a different frequency. So whenever you're speaking on that spiritual level, ladies and gentlemen, they are hearing a completely different frequency. Now, I did a video recently, I think it's 2-3 days ago. And I told you guys, a lot of you guys who are chosen ones, you have got these gifts. There is sometime when you're fighting around with narcissists, when they go into rage, when it's like, for example, you might have done something to them and you have caused them an injury and they go into rage. I've told you guys, those people, those individuals, they are going to rage and start saying something in that voice that I've told you. That voice, if you are a person who knows You have got this special anointing on you, on your life. A high vibrational being, a chosen one. You are going to hear that frequency they are using in that moment when they are raging. That frequency is from a different dimension, and you will know this. I've just done a video recently, I think it was 2 days ago. When the narcissist rages, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to tap into that frequency. That frequency is not coming from this dimension. That frequency is completely in a different dimension. You will know that that frequency is not from this dimension on the 3D. It's not from the 3D dimension. It's from somewhere else. And it is a frequency you have never had anywhere else. You have never had anybody else apart from the person that you're dealing with at that moment. So the same thing happens vice versa. Remember that during the rage, that person is we could say revengeful. They are fearful. They are hateful. All these low vibrational frequencies. Now, when they are talking, when they are talking and raging at you and using that sound, which I've told you is from a different dimension, a lot of you guys will tap into that. Will tap into that energy. You're going to hear that frequency. It is not from this dimension. I've not heard that from one narcissist. I've not heard it from two. I've heard it from so many various types of narcissists that I've engaged with over the years. The frequency is completely from a different dimension. The same thing is happening vice versa. When you're talking authentically, out of love, you mean what you say. You do not mean any harm. You're coming from that place of love. Those people, you're disturbing that frequency. You're disturbing their frequency. You're actually disturbing their energy. So it's the reason as to why you see there is people that you meet, you know, you can be sometime in a meeting, there's a debate going on, maybe sometime there's a conference, and people are worried about handing over the microphone to you. They don't want to give you the microphone. Even sometimes, let me tell you something, chosen ones. A lot of you guys go to church. There's some of you guys who are church goers. I do not say that I'm a religious person. Well, I used to be back in the days, but I'm not a religious person now. I'm more into spirituality and everything. There are some of you guys who go to church, and there are certain people in that church, when they start to pray, they start to say and speak out of their and speak something out of their mouth, and they start to pray. You're going to see a lot of these demons are going to manifest in a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of people when you're in churches, a lot of you get the church goers, especially the Pentecosts. There are some people who pray, and you're going to see sometime you're standing next to somebody, and their demons, their inner demons are going to start manifesting next to that person. It is because they are hearing a frequency that is disturbing their demons. So the same thing happens in our daily lives, because not everybody goes to church. There are some people who go to the mosque, some are Jehovah's, some are this. There are so many religions around the world, but it doesn't matter which faith you believe in. I've told you guys we are all one, and there's no separation on this planet, on this universe. Everywhere you are, when you're talking, ladies and gentlemen, you are a chosen one. You are a high vibrational being. You are speaking from a different frequency, and in the spiritual realm and in the spiritual world, these demons are hearing a completely different tone, and that tone is actually disturbing and crushing down their demons. Sometimes you start speaking and they run away. You may open your mouth to speak and you see them walking away. It's like they won't listen to you, they walk away. Or sometimes they may come around and they tell you a lot of garbage, blah, 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 and they will start shouting around. But the moment they see you're ready to talk, they are going to walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen these things, I want you to let us know in the comment section below. You already know what time it is. They are going to deposit all their garbage on you. They will talk a lot of crap. But the very moment it's your time to speak, it's like it's your time to talk. It's your turn to talk, and they know that it's your turn. They know that it's your turn to talk. They are going to run off. They don't want to hear you speak, because they know the frequency that is going to come out of your mouth. So your voice is high dimensional. You know, guys, I'll tell you something. The quicker you understand the spiritual world, how it operates. I know that you may not understand this because it requires a certain degree of enlightenment and ascension and wisdom to understand these things. But when you tap into this world that is not common to the regular eyes, you're going to start to see things and to hear things that they don't even teach you in schools. You have never heard anywhere, even in your churches, you've not heard these things. Ladies and gentlemen, the world that we're living in, the spiritual world, And the people we're around with, including us ourselves, we are simply spiritual beings having a human experience. That is all it is. So whatever is happening on the physical, in the 3D, it is simultaneously happening in the 5D, in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual realm. So the 3D and the 5D, they're happening at the same time. But it is only a few people that actually tap into that energy and that frequency. They understand this kind of stuff. So we're talking about sound, we're talking about voice, we're talking about frequency, we're talking about energy, we're talking about vibration in this time. Chosen ones, I'll repeat this. You are very high vibrational beings. And the moment you're around low vibrational beings, you're going to notice that actually you're speaking less. They don't want you to open your mouth, because whatever is going to come out of your mouth is not something they want to hear. Because number one, you're going to talk about the truth. Low vibrational beings and entities, they have got nothing to do with the truth. Number two, you're going to be authentic and talk about authenticity and be your authentic self. Those vibrational beings, they're all about manipulation, they're all about negative energy, they're all about a completely opposite, they're on the completely opposite side of that spectrum. So whatever it is you're saying is authentic, they are not. So they don't have anything to do with that kind of energy. Number three, you're all about love, which we already know that it is the highest frequency on this universe. So whatever it is you're doing, they know that you're doing out of love, and they know that they have got empty souls, they are empty balloons, like I've told you guys. They do not have anything to do with that love you're talking about. So they are actually going to struggle with you and fight around with you. So is what I'm trying to say. The two of you, you're not matching up vibrationally, and your frequencies are on the complete opposite sides of the spectrum. They will not teach you these things in schools. So for the black sheep, now you know why you have always been struggling with your brothers. You know, they were hiding away, talking behind your back. They didn't want you to attend the parties. They didn't want you to attend the meetings. Even if you attended those meetings, they didn't want you to speak. A lot of times they were doing things in secret behind your back. That is because your presence was not welcome. I've told you guys, chosen ones, especially the black sheep, you have always been the unwanted guest. And when you're talking about the black sheep, the people who are actually been always scapegoated everywhere. You'll also realize that even in your workplaces, you have been scapegoated most of the times. Everybody was trying to point fingers at you because your frequency, wherever you went and wherever you were, it was usually disturbing a lot of people. They did not want anything to do with that. It's why your life has been going like that in circles. You are scapegoated ever since you was a kid. In your homes, you are scapegoated in your families, you're scapegoated in your schools. Sometimes you're scapegoated even in the churches. Everywhere you went, ladies and gentlemen, it is the frequency that you have on you. You are a very high vibrational being. And wherever you go, that frequency is disturbing a lot of these demonic entities everywhere you go. So you have got the answers at this moment. You're not allowed to speak. You're not even allowed to show your presence. When you show your presence, they want you somewhere seated down, quiet in the corner. They don't want you to say anything, because they already know that whatever it is you're going to say is high vibrational. So that's what's happening around the world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to know if this video resonates, ladies and gentlemen, because you already know, chosen ones, you already know what I'm talking about. Let us know your views in the comment section below. And until then, you always know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session with me, donate or support my channel if you want to. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.